about to get another question on public service now from one of the state's firefighters.
How you doing?
G'day.
Your Commission of Audit interim report says that some workforce management policies should be left to management. It specifically mentions number of firefighters per appliance. Now, I'm a fire stationed at Parramatta and have been so for the last 12 years. Last year we went to more than 3,000 emergency calls. On each call we had a truck manned with a commander and 3 firefighters. This is our safe and effective minimum and recognised as a worldwide standard of safety. Reducing that minimum manning standard will directly make me and all other firefighters less safe, and will definitely make the public less safe and will make combating fires much harder and less successful. My question is, will you be implementing this recommendation?
Well, I'm not. There were 2 reports put out. The SHOT report, which is the report that we're operating in conjunction with, an earlier report that we said, other than the changes that we'd made in the state budget in September or in the SHOT report, we would not be proceeding with, and they're the recommendations you're talking about.
Right, so what you're saying is that you will not be reducing manning for firefighters on appliances?
We've got absolutely no plans to do that. We are not going to be stupid about this. We've all, whether it's house fires, whether it's bushfires, whether it's floods, having spent a bit of time in the last few weeks around it, we're going to do nothing that jeopardises local communities. We have no plans, but there was a report. There was a report, I think, called the Lambert Report. Yep. And as we said when we released it, unless it was reflected in the state budget, unless it was reflected in the SHOT report that we released last month, they were not going to be proceeded with by the government.
Hello, Premier. How are you going?
Good, thanks, Stephen.
I've been a police officer for 25 years, all in the western suburbs of Sydney, and there's a lot of police that live out here. We're concerned about the new death and disability scheme that's come in, majorly concerned about the officers that are very, very seriously hurt, and there's only a very small number, and I'm indicate about 60 per year that will never, ever be able to go back to work. And under this scheme, the way I read the legislation, they won't be looked after and their families will struggle.
This was not an issue that was on our agenda till the cost of it was raised with us. The concern that was expressed was if the scheme continued as it was, it would become financially unsustainable, which meant that I could not tell any police officer, including a new police officer, that if they were injured in 20 years' time, that the scheme would actually cover them for death or injury. Now, I'm happy to raise with the Police Minister the issue you make about that handful of people who each year suffer catastrophic injury, to get the facts to see what situation they're in, but understand that offering false hope, offering a scheme that might last for 5 years but then fall over, is not the solution.
So my question to you, Barry, is the cost of living for families is